A narwhal's horn is actually an enlarged tooth and not a horn at all. And today, we're talking about narwhals, unicorns of the sea. Nice shirt.
Thanks.
My grandfather, Jacques Cousteau, studied and explored the Earth's ocean. I do too, and our submarine is in Arctic waters searching for the narwhal. Oh, he's a beauty. Narwhals can grow up to 17 feet in length, and their front tooth can grow up to 10 feet in length. It's the only straight tusk in the world. Typically, these are only found on males and are actually full of up to 10 million nerve endings, helping the narwhal detect pressure, salt levels, and even temperature in the water. Here's an interesting fact. A narwhal tusk is flexible. It can bend about 1 foot in any direction without breaking. It was originally thought that these tusks were for dueling, but a new theory suggests they're for attracting a mate. Narwhals don't migrate like other whale species. They spend their entire lives in icy Arctic waters hunting squid, fish, and crab. If you want to see one live, you'll have to come up north because narwhals don't thrive in captivity. Rather, they die. Some animals we humans just can't tame. I've dedicated my life to studying the ocean, but sometimes you come across something so marvelous you have to wonder, what the heck is going on down here? Today we're talking about the mimic octopus.
Mimic octopus.
Octopuses are rather curious creatures. When exposed, they're vulnerable to predators, so typically they like to stay hidden. And when they do move, they do so by walking along the ocean's floor on their 8 legs. But in 1998, scientists discovered an octopus residing in the shallow waters of Indonesia doing something quite strange. Over the course of 2 years, they filmed it and 9 other similar octopuses mimicking behaviors of at least 3 different species. They found it swimming, its legs outstretched high above the ocean floor like a lionfish, flattened out gliding over the bottom like a flatfish, and extending its tentacles to mimic a poisonous sea snake. This allows the mimic octopus to hide in plain sight. Astonishing. Camouflage is important in the oceans. It's a cutthroat world outside these submarine walls. Today we're talking about seahorses and their ability to camouflage. My grandfather, Jacques Cousteau, always stood out in a crowd because of his style. But these seahorses do just the opposite. Seahorses are masters of camouflage. The pygmy seahorse is one of the most well-camouflaged species in the ocean and the smallest variety of seahorses that exist. They're the size of a paperclip. In fact, the pygmy seahorse wasn't discovered until someone was examining a piece of coral it was on. Seahorses, much like chameleons, can change color. They change color to confuse predators, as well as to convey emotions to one another, especially during courtship. The speed at which they change color depends on what's happening. As a response to fear, it's rapid, whereas if it's due to hormonal changes, it's much slower.
It's gone.
What do you mean it's gone? No. It's right there. Stealthy seahorse. Humans can experience over 10 million colors. It's rather amazing, but not to the mantis shrimp. Beautiful, isn't it? This is a mantis shrimp. Mantis shrimp have 16 color receptors in their eyes, the most of any animal on our planet. Now, what does this mean? Now think about the world you live in. You're experiencing all this with 3 optical receptors. And because the mantis shrimp has so many more than us, their light detecting ability is astronomically better. And this can help them spot prey quicker, making it an extraordinary hunter. It's only about 4 inches long, but can strike with a force of 335 pounds.
Wow.
It takes 9 pounds to break a nose, 25 to break a small bone, and 400 to break through a block of cement. The movement of the mantis shrimp claw is one of the fastest for any animal on Earth. They've even been known to break through aquarium tanks. Remarkable. Today we're exploring the deep ocean and its rarely seen creatures. My grandfather, Jacques Cousteau, was always looking to chronicle the wonders of the ocean, and the giant isopod is one of the most fascinating and strange looking. These crustaceans live thousands of feet beneath the ocean surface, typically between 500 and 7,000 feet deep. They can grow up to 2 feet long, but this one's just a baby. The reason they're so big is due to something called sea gigantism. We don't know why this happens. It might be due to deep ocean pressure or to scarcity of food resources. Either way, these guys are huge. They're carnivores, and they have 4 sets of jaws but can go for years without eating. Are you guys eating? You barely lasted an hour. One isopod in captivity in Japan survived 5 years without eating. Okay, give me a check. Hold on, I need a minute. The ocean is particularly captivating today. All right, what's on the docket?
Nudibranchs.
Ah, yes, of course, nudibranchs. I love these. Nudibranchs are small, about the size of my fingertip. These are particularly amazing animals, and you can find them all over the world, if you look hard enough. On top, these things that look like ears are chemosensory organs. They help them see because nudibranchs are pretty much blind. They can only sense light and dark. Their bright colors aren't for one another, obviously. They're to alert predators that they're poisonous. But generally speaking, they're just adorable. Let's look at some. Roll the tape. Nudibranchs are hermaphroditic, but cannot mate alone. So when these guys aren't looking for food, they're looking for sex. Not too bad a life. Nudibranchs, sex-crazed, poisonous sea slugs. Can we put that on a t-shirt? Oh, perfect. Submarine's a bit chilly today, team. Hats on. It's important to have a good support system at sea. My grandfather, Jacques Cousteau, knew how valuable friends were. Beautiful specimens, aren't they? I've got a pistol shrimp and goby fish in this bag. These two are in a mutualistic, symbiotic relationship, which means they depend on each other for survival. Here's how it works. The pistol shrimp is an amazing digger, but nearly blind. The goby fish likes living in ocean floor tunnels, but can't dig. The goby has great eyesight. The shrimp has a great digging claw. They're a perfect match. These two pair up, and as the shrimp digs, the goby keeps watch for predators. Once they pair, they're inseparable. And that's the deal. The goby gets a home, and the shrimp gets a seeing eye fish. Scientists aren't sure how these two find each other in the first place. It could be a chemical or an optical attraction. Either way, it's a beautiful thing. Look at it out there. It looks calm, doesn't it? It's actually swarming with microscopic life. It's like my grandfather Jacques Cousteau used to say, everyone always talks about fish and whales. Let's talk about phytoplankton. They're small. It's estimated that in every teaspoon of seawater, there's about 100,000 of them. But you need a microscope to see them. They're the unsung heroes of our ocean. More than half the oxygen in our atmosphere is thanks to phytoplankton. And today, we'll learn about two types. Let's talk about coccolithophores. Every day in the ocean, they're battling viruses and bacteria, and each time they die, they release a little puff of oxygen into the atmosphere. If you were to look down from space, you could see this immense battlefield full of trillions of their dead. Ever heard of the White Cliffs of Dover? Made up of dead coccolithophore skeletons. Romantic, isn't it? And now, dinoflagellates. These are responsible for bioluminescent waters, or glowing oceans. They're also responsible for blood-red tides. When dinoflagellates bloom, they turn the water a deep crimson red. These red tides are dangerous and responsible for loss of ocean and possibly human life. Phytoplankton giveth and taketh in return.